Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. Hope you guys are just having a fantabulous day that ends in Y. Hey, Gemini. So, Don was hysterical on Paranormal Portal. From what I understand, he is sleep deprived, and that may have something to do with it. Maybe. They don't know. But it doesn't surprise me. When he gets on a roll, he is not joking. Um, yeah, without a doubt. So broadcast live tonight on Truth Frequency Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, and also on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Hope you guys are having, just like I said, a great day. Um, let's see. Yay, we have sound. Good. Sometimes the magic works. Got a good beaten stick over here if it doesn't. Um, and pliers and scissors and stuff. Let's see. Let's see what. Oh, if you no matter how you are listening to me, make sure you stop into one of the chat rooms and say hello, or you can always send me an email at wildepaisley@gmail.com, and that's wildepaisley@gmail.com. If you want to see what's going on in my world and what's coming up and all that kind of stuff, you can always go check out the website. It's www.paisleywild.com. While you're checking out things online and stuff, you can also check out iLife.com. iLife is the official sponsor for Truth Frequency Radio. iLife combines the best of the non-psychoactive properties of the ayahuasca with high-quality CBD to help support the stuff that ails you. And yeah, just really good stuff. Check out iLife.com. And then let's see, call lines are open. I do have to just remember to check the call lines periodically. hmm And that call-in number is 213-233-3998. Yeah, I do remember how to do all this. Let's see, what else is new? It snowed and then it stopped snowing. It's trying to thaw out here in the Pacific Northwest, which I'm totally stoked about because I gotta tell you, I want a garden. It is really hard for me this time of year because my friends that live in warmer climates are gardening. I have family that lives in North Carolina and they're gardening, and it's not fair. It's just not fair because they're talking about the things they're putting in the garden. I know people are getting flowers, and it's just, I look outside and I have 2.5 feet of snow. It's not fair. It's just, that's just all. It's just not fair for crying out loud. But I love living here in North Idaho, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So, even though I whine a lot, and I do, I do, and I know this about me, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Mm-mm. Nope, not anywhere else. I like it too much here. So, it's half-hearted whining. Really, it is. Um, yeah, wouldn't live anywhere else. But it is it is whining. I know this. Um, Mini me next week will have been in school for 100 days, which it's hard to believe, 100 days. There's what is 180 days is what our state recommends or requires for a full year of school. So that means for what, 2/3? Yay. Um, it's all downhill from here. Actually, it is. Stop and think about it. Here it is, the second, almost the third week in February. 6 weeks will be pretty much the 1st of April. I mean, honestly, we're looking at the end of winter anyways and the start of mud season. Supposedly we'll get some more snow rain mix tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, okay. And same with next or like tomorrow this weekend, and then same thing with next weekend. Okay, fine. But we're pretty much done with winter, and that's okay. We've gotten our snowfall here We have. I know other parts of the West Coast has not, so I don't know. It should be an interesting spring and summer. Um, yeah. And I got to talking to Lucky One. She's been on the show a few times with me, and she has her own show on Truth Frequency Radio. Um, Quantum Connections. Check it out. It's a good show. She talks about all sorts of stuff. She has a way of putting things together. Check it out. Anyways, we were talking, and I got to thinking back and looking. The weather that we had here in North Idaho, say 30 years ago. It's very different compared to what we have now. Very different, honestly. Um, we had more snow. Not necessarily more cold days, but we would have more snow, and it was common for us to have snow and then a Chinook type wind where everything would melt, and then we'd have more snow and then it'd melt, and it was just this on again, off again thing. And it was pretty normal. But then we also had snow. I have raced sled dog teams. I've ran behind a team of sled dogs. It's fun, very freeing. And if you've ever had the opportunity, or if you ever do have the opportunity to go for a ride with the sled dog team, I highly recommend it. It's a rush. Is it ever a rush? It's awesome. Do it. Um, but where I'm going with that is the weather that we're having now would not support that here locally. It just wouldn't. You'd need more of a cart system than a true sled or a sled. Um, and I used to race in this area, and so our climate has shifted. For anybody who has doubts, no, it has shifted. It has changed. And for those who get all grouchy and say, it's the end of the world, the climate change, panic, panic, the sky is falling. Stop, sit down, take a deep breath. Um, Climate change happens all the time. Civilizations have risen and fallen based upon water, the tables rising and falling around the world, moisture content, rain levels, rainfall. Look at some of the civilizations that were thriving, centuries ago in uh, Asia, South America, Central America, that kind of thing, that were thriving and suddenly they disappeared. And now archaeologists and geologists are going in, they're trying to figure out why those civilizations stopped, like what happened. And a lot of them it's because the water stopped. And for some reason, whether it's droughts or excess of water, too much water is as bad as not enough. And so this is a cyclical thing that our world goes through periodically. And so, sure, the West Coast may be in a 1,200-year drought cycle. Does that suck? Yes. Um, am I going to panic over it? No. Mostly because it means we need to do something different. We need to shift the way we are thinking and shift the way we are using water and conserving water. Doesn't mean we need to panic. We just need to think about it a little bit and do things differently. And panicking is never the answer, really, truly. Panicking makes things worse rather than better. Trust me on this one. So, that being said, digress for a few, and back to the show at hand. So tonight, I wanted to talk about protection just a little bit. Actually, the whole show is going to talk about protection. Why? Why am I talking about protection? Well, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're talking about spring cleaning is rapidly coming up. The Southern Hemisphere, fall cleaning is the thing. Honestly, I do fall cleaning as much, if not more, than I do spring cleaning because cleaning is important, honestly. It doesn't matter when you do it, just clean. Get rid of the dirt. Um, Seriously, even shuffling around your furniture once in a while cleans up the energy and changes the energy flow in your house. And I'm not saying, you know, really rearrange the furniture, although I've done that probably too many times. I'm saying just clean. Put new dust covers on your pillows. It doesn't have to be anything too wild and crazy. It can be something small and little, but yeah, clean, sweep, mop, dust. Dusting is my nemesis. Um, put new cupboard shelf liners in your cupboards. I don't know, just whatever it is. Stay safe, Jim. And cleaning, right? And with cleaning, it's a good time to start renewing your protections around your home. Just like here in the U.S., we have daylight savings time. Cue the eye roll because it makes no sense, but apparently we still have to do this. And we should probably stop someday soon. This year would be good. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But yeah, it's a good time to start renewing your protections. And with daylight savings time, it's everybody recommends. Oh, hey, it's time to check the batteries in your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide detectors. It's just one of those things. You do it. It's like, oh, check the batteries, change them out if you need to, that kind of thing. Um, well, why not renew the protections on your house? I mean, full moon. Um, I got some fantastic pictures I need to add to something somewhere. If you have full moon pictures you want on the website, send them to me. Wildepaisley@gmail.com, and I'll put them on the website. I need to add my own too. Just saying. I need to sit and focus on the website. If anybody wants to help out with the website, let me know. You get paid in karmic um, love rather than money, just because that's the way of it. Sadly, I don't even pay myself very well. I'm a horrible employer. But you feel good. Anyways, moon water. Got all this moon water, and it's a very, very good tool when it comes to renewing your protections. And we'll get into that in a little bit. And part of the reason why I wanted to talk about protections is because of this blasted news that's been coming around about this Tennessean um, church leader individual. I'm not even going to call him Christian because I don't think he is. Yeah, he's just a cult leader, Christian sect leader. Yeah. Anyways, he did a book burning here a while back and he burned some books because he said they were of the devil. For those of you listening in on the radio, you cannot see how hard I just rolled my eyes. I just about knocked myself into a different dimension. Oh, I saw a different line. I almost rolled my eyes hard enough you could see my spine. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny too. But no, yeah, who goes out and buys a bunch of books just so you can throw them on a fire? I've never understood that one. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take these books. I'm gonna spend $10 or more per book so I can burn them. It's like, well, shoot, if you're just gonna literally burn money, burn it in my direction. Okay, just if you could, um, burn it towards me. Anyways, so yeah, they burned some books, which whatever, and he's on his soapbox and he's spitting hatred, um, and it is hatred. Don't allow yourself to think anything else, just hatred, pure hatred on his stage from his bully pulpit to his audience, because it's not it's not a congregation, it's an audience because it's being filmed. It is a performance for an audience, and he's threatening to expose some witches and stuff, and he's saying that, oh, they're in his congregation and such. If they are, man, folks, I'm sorry, you're in danger. Get out. This is like an abusive relationship. You are in an abusive relationship. Get out. Honestly, if you are a woman attending this church, this cult, part of this cult, I'd get out. And seriously, as a witch, I'm calling this group a cult. Cult. And because it has all the hallmark ear tags of badness. Anyways, so not trying really to be an alarmist, and I'll include some articles in the show notes just because that's what I do. Um, but there are some things to be aware of, and even though he's like one individual shouting loud on his soapbox, it is worth it as a witch and as a pagan to, while not be panicking about what he's saying and how he's saying it, but to be aware. Um, and I say be aware, not beware, be aware. And the reason why is even though it's a small group of people and they are not necessarily all over the world or, a huge group or a huge cult or congregation or whatever you want to call them. Unfortunately, even one person can cause a hate crime, and we've seen this around the world often. Hate crimes happen all over the place all the time, and sometimes it's in the name of religion, other times it's just in the name of stupidity, sometimes it's a combination. Um, but either way, it's something to pay attention to, and we do just need to pay attention to it because he is supposedly passionate about this particular topic. Um, he is, as he's burning witches or burning books. Honestly, it doesn't take much to think he would go from burning books to burning something else very, very easily. Um, just protect yourselves. So, and when I say protect yourselves, I don't mean, carry extra charms, carry weapons, or anything like that. One, just listen. You know, um, how are people in your group of influence, your sphere of influence, if you will, react to extremists such as this particular individual? I'm not going to name him because I don't want to give him that kind of power. That's how I'm doing it. Um, do they repeat his slang, his message? Do they encourage it? Do they think it's great? Do they think it's funny? Are they um, saying it's harmless? It's just, or are they um, saying that it should be ignored, or are they saying no, it's wrong? Um, how are they responding? And the ones who are saying, yeah, this guy's a good guy, those are the ones to really watch out for. Even the ones who think it's kind of funny, haha. Yeah, I'd worry about that too. Or the ones that, oh no, it's harmless behavior. He's just going through a phase. Yeah, I don't know. I'd really be worried about it. So just pay attention. Pay attention to the people you're around. Um, and the people you're interacting with because that kind of hate it spreads to other things and other places, and it's more than just hate of witches. There's something else going on. Um, if you're threatened, um, especially directly to you, someone puts threatening information on your car, on your property, in your mailbox, especially, ooh, mailbox is bad. Um, you receive harassment in any way, harassing messages in any way, shape, or form, contact your local law enforcement. And if they don't do any forward movement on that and protect you in some way, shape, or form, or take at least a report, That's that's a big deal. It really is. Um, for a lot of us, um, as witches, we do strive for inclusion, meaning we try to include those who are marginalized in the communities. Um, and that's everybody, not just, the magical folk, but also the mundane. Keep that up. If you are public about your practice, your path, and what you're doing, and you're okay being more vocal about your path and trying to help others be more accepted and allowing and pushing for witchcraft and paganism to be more accepted in the world, don't be afraid to denounce this kind of hateful speech. Do it. Um, and I think you should. I'm trying to myself. Um, it does make me a little nervous just because, wow, this guy's pretty hateful. Um, and the part of the reason why am I willing to do this is because I want to support those who prefer to be silent and protect them and shelter them, because you know what, not everybody feels comfortable standing up on their soapbox and saying, yeah, I'm a witch, what of it? And I get it. So don't be afraid to protect yourself and your family, because sometimes that is what you have to do, really truly. um, on pathos.com, John Beckett wrote a really good article, and let's see who is this other one that I'm looking at. Um, Three Pagans and a Cat. I love Three Pagans and a Cat. They're awesome. Um, but John Beckett is, I would love to meet him. I think he's awesome. Um, Man, it is a culture war right now. It's the progressive movement trying to expand some freedom. Conservatives, yeah, sort of. There's the, which is weird because I consider myself a conservative. There's the Christian conservative. There's the pandemic mess. There's this whole societal insanity going on right now, and it's not clear. It's not clear cut. It's not this group is in the right and this group is in the wrong. Um, it's not a bubble of anything to assume that any one group is right or wrong. It's sadly, excuse me, a blend of everything, and we need to pay attention to it. We can't just assume that one group is in the right and one group is in the wrong, because there's there's issues on in all ways. So pay attention. You know, forewarned is forearmed, and prepare yourselves. Check to see what's out there. And this is again, holy cow, just wasn't looking at the chat. So yeah, um, it's an interesting time that we're living in, and it's unfortunately not necessarily good interesting times. I would rather have interesting times where I won the lottery. I gotta tell you. Or I had chocolate delivered every day. That would be interesting. That would be fun, interesting. This kind of interesting times, it causes more of this gray hair to start showing up. So, yeah. I'm going to stop right there because we are just about to go to our first break. We're going to do that. I'm going to pick this up with the article from John Beckett. I am going to talk about some crystals that you can carry on yourself and use for protection around your home, that kind of thing. Some spell work, not work, that kind of thing later on in the show. So, yeah, first break. Grab your water, grab a snack, sit back, enjoy the ride, and we shall be right back. I promise. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. Tonight we're talking about protection because you know what? It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it in yeah, so many ways. So many ways. Um, yeah, exactly. So Justin in the chat room says to be spiritual and humanitarian does not only mean Christian. People don't get that. Absolutely, and that leads me to my next point. Is keep winning the publicity battles. You know, as witches and pagans, people is like, ooh, just like in Hollywood, there's got to be blood sacrifices and black magic and black candles and everybody's dressed up like goths and with the fangs and all that. That's actually not it. Um, most witches, I won't say all because no, witchcraft is very much a broad spectrum. Same with paganism, kind of a broad spectrum. Kind of like Christianity is a broad spectrum. There's really awesome people who are Christians and they're douchebags, just like this gentleman who's in the news. And sadly, it is a thing. Um, Twitchy nose, yeah, exactly. And so when publicity battles, what I mean by that is, you know, as a witch, continue or as a pagan or someone who is not continue donating to the causes that you believe in. Support the soup kitchens that you support. Help out the shelters that you help out. Do what the good things that you've been doing. Continue being the same good person that you've always been. Just because someone's being a jerk from his bully pulpit, which to me is really, really sad and unfortunate because that's really what he's taking being. Um, wow, there's so many different words I could use there. None of them are appropriate for radio. Um, Jerk. We'll leave it at jerk. there's yeah, he's being the fool that he is because he's on a soapbox and spouting so much hate and vitriol that he can't see that what he's doing is wrong. Um, and now, you guys, if you're seeing buffering, it's probably me. I do live in North Idaho. The internet here can be quite interesting. Um, let's see. So Napoleon had there's a quote attributed to Napoleon that says, if your enemy is making an error, don't interrupt him." So this particular gentleman, and I use that word loosely, this individual, um, is currently making errors all over the place. Um, he's tying himself up with demons. Okay, supposedly demons are telling him who the witches are. Okay, well, if he that close of a relationship with demons, witches are not his problem. That lad could definitely use a cleansing. Just gut. Ah, you can't hear my tincture over here, but I've got my singing bowl, the tincture, got Palo Santo, sage, sweetgrass. Yeah, got all sorts of stuff right here. Uh, yeah, jerk comes to mind. Um, if when it comes to the publicity part, Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis said that sunlight is the best disinfectant. So, as this particular individual, this jerk, continues spouting his vitriol from his soapbox, um, it's going to come out that more and more, what his faults are, what his screw ups are, because he's going to be more and more in the spotlight. And sadly, regardless of what happens, Christian falls under isn't going to go away anytime soon. It just a significant group of people within the U.S. at least, but around the world. And so D goes, where do you even start with those types? Well, it's hard. Um, and so I personal experience here. I was in a public place and I had interaction with an individual who came in and he was talking about witches, spouting off a little bit about negatively about witches. And I go, well, I'm a witch. And he looks at me and he goes, "You're a witch." I go, "Yes, yes, I'm a witch." And he goes, "Well, how do you know you're a witch?" It's like, "Well, I've chosen to be a witch and I honor the elder gods. I'm a pagan and I practice witchcraft, spells, magic, that kind of thing." And he's like, "Oh, and have you?" I don't remember exactly what he said, but he asked me if I had done some specific ritual that was supposedly countering all of the 10 commandments. And I'm like, "Well, why would I do that?" He goes, "Well, it's because you're um, denying God." It's like, "Well, why would I do that?" He's like, "Because you're a witch." It's like, why would I do that? He kept looking at me like, "Well, why? But you're a witch." It's like, "I'm a witch. That doesn't mean I don't believe in Yahweh." He's like, "Well, what do you mean?" It's like, "I am a polytheist. I believe in all the gods. I just don't worship Yahweh. And I'm a witch. And I don't worship Yahweh. And so, my views on the afterlife, for instance, I'm not going to go to the Christian hell because that's not part of my religion. I am of a different religious belief than Christianity." And because I caused this individual to stop and talk about a narrow minded, focused, linear thinking individual, very linear, oh boy, article here. He talks on about being an engaged citizen. So basically, that means stay informed. That doesn't mean obsess over the news and the headlines, but stay informed. You know, don't be obsessed about the politics and what's going on, but stay in contact with your elected representatives. Um, are they doing the right things? Are they not? Vote as much as you can. Um, as far as book bannings or book burnings go, um, oddly enough, don't attend those. Don't have a counter uh, group or a counter meeting against it. Just like if someone's having, a protest, don't have a counter protest. So yeah. Um, so anyways, yeah, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Um, Something else, you know, maintain a regular spiritual practice for ourselves. Um, does this mean you have to connect with a specific deity? No. And that is something that I do see a lot of the newbies, the new pagans, new witches, go on about and get very, very concerned about. It's like, oh, well, I'm not connected with a specific deity. What do I do? How do I get connected? Well, to begin with, you don't have to be. Start off with the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and start there. Should you feel called to work with a specific deity, that will happen as you become more experienced on your path. If you need a mentor, find a mentor. If not, then don't. But honor the masculine and feminine, both, because it's a duality, honestly. And that's something a lot of the different religions around the world have totally missed, is that there is a masculine and feminine to spirituality. And then it's reading, it's studying, it's the seasonal celebrations, it's the monthly workings. It's for pagans and witches is going outside. It's checking out the sky. It's talking to the animals. It's picking up sticks. Sorry, it is. Um, it's connecting with the land and the world around you. Sometimes that means taking a class. Sometimes it doesn't. Um, Sometimes it means getting together and doing a ritual with others, and sometimes it isn't. Um, and you stop and think about it. What is it that you need to do? Um, and yeah, ask around, connect with your community as much as you can. The community of witches here locally. Hectic Eclectics is the group that I'm with Black Tree. We have a monthly get together where we just sit and have coffee and talk and chat and all that. We also, I have a Zoom group, same group. We get together about once a month now. I do have it set up to meet twice a month just in case, you know, because I know not everybody's schedule is the same. Because life, oh yes, life. Um, and it's so that, hey, we can still get together and meet and express ideas and what do we want to do. As we move forward, I'm hoping maybe we can do some camping this summer. I mean, there's so much we can do here in North Idaho. I mean, there is so much. We've got this lake, we've got hiking, we've got camping, we've got huckleberry picking, there's so many rocks and sticks we can go pick up. Them just so many things.